Willie D. Live.
What do you think about the comments that the governor of New York made about black children not knowing how? Did she say not knowing how to spell?
She said we
computer?
don't know what a computer is.
Don't know what a computer is. Did you catch those remarks?
But they know what video games are. Yeah, the governor.
Did you catch those remarks?
I actually did not, and hearing this for the first time, it sounds appalling.
Yeah, she said
I posted
black
it.
kids
I got it
don't
on my
know
bed.
what
she
computers
said black kids
are
in Brooklyn, unfortunately, don't know what computers are. They just don't. And to me, I find that to be offensive, and that's another reason why I don't necessarily support the Democrat Party. I'm not saying I don't support my people that align with that party, but I don't support the Democrat leadership because not only do they believe that we are not smart enough to know what computers are, they believe that we aren't smart enough to have an ID to know how to vote. That in itself is disrespectful because you have to have an ID to go apply for welfare food stamps. You got to have an ID to go to the club. You got to have an ID to cash your check. So to think that we don't have IDs, the notion that liberation comes in abortion, where every time you hear them get up on a platform and speak, it's all about the need for black women to have abortion. To me, I think that it's all disrespect, and I'm glad that our community is waking up because you were talking about something earlier about why things aren't changing, and you made a point about evil people in leadership. But I think that a lot of the reason why things aren't changing is because we continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Mm-hmm. A lot of us have been very loyal to the Democrat Party just because that's how we was raised, right? We was just born into it. Grandma and them said we Democrats. We saw Obama. He was this black man that gave all of us hope. And that's what he left us with. The only thing we got was a track phone, right? To track everywhere that we went. And I'm not going to get into all of it, but we've been voting Democrat for 60 years? And it seems like today, are we in a better position? So now that I've had the chance to experience both sides, I can honestly come out and say the best side for us as a people is independent, and we vote for the best policy and stop voting for the popular person.
How do you convince people that not voting for the Democrats or criticizing, being extremely critical of the Democratic Party does not mean you default to Republican?
Right.
Because a lot of times they think just because you say something about the Democrats, you're automatically going to vote Republican or you should be a Republican.
I did that, and even my oldest daughter, who's an attorney, she's a corporate lawyer. She lives in New York. Shout out to my baby Aaliyah. She told me, she said, "Mom, you don't want to be Republican. You want to be independent." She said, "Don't go Republican," and I didn't listen. But what I learned is that two-party system is two wings on the same bird. And again, it's partisan politics. Even in Congress, when they get ready to vote on a law, you have to have votes from both sides. All politics are supposed to be bipartisan. And I just believe the two-party system needs to be abolished. We all need to be independent, and we vote off of the person that has the best policies for our community.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the issue is Citizens United that allowed corporations to fund PACs. Mm-hmm. And when that happened, everything just shifted. It was like this, politicians who thought for themselves or spoke up or had dissenting opinions from the centralized party line were considered detractors. Mm-hmm. So today, if you're a Republican and you're not following this party line, and it's one thing if you vote one way, but it's another thing if you speak up.
Mm-hmm. Let's say you guys are successful in your bid to win the White House. Everything is beautiful. It works out. You kill them. Let's say you get in there and you get 4 years, maybe even 8 years. How do you keep it going? How do you not fall victim to the same identity politics as the Republicans and the Democrats did?
We have to keep everyone around this pocket of independence, thinking about how to keep conflicts of interest out of the decision-making process. Conflicts of interest will happen anytime someone has a corporation that benefits from a policy. So we have to really screen these things out so that the people making the decisions aren't side pocketing benefits. Bobby's entire platform is about ending corporate capture of our agencies. If you look across our federal agencies, Big Pharma owns all of our healthcare. Big Ag owns all of our agriculture. Big Tech, owns a lot. It's just like all of our information. It permeates into military. I mean, it's all of it. And then you have the entire industry of war. You have all of these companies government contractors that are making billions of dollars off of our proxy wars. Mm-hmm. And that's going into the pockets, because of Citizens United, back into the pockets of the politicians. That's a cycle we're stuck in.
And just to speak to that point, what I noticed too, like with the Republican Party, most Republican congressmen and congresswomen are funded by the NRA. When you look at the Democrat Party, they're all funded by Planned Parenthood. So it is the interest of these big corporations, and they're being bought. I ran for office. I've been lobbied. I understand how it goes. It's the interest of these big corporations that take the voice away from the people. And I think how Nicole and Bobby keep up the momentum of this independent space is by bringing in people like me, like you, those of us who don't have the same political alignments, but we care about this country and we care about our community. Yeah. And that's how we win. Like, I think everybody's tired of fighting, right? Like, why am I getting attacked by my brothers and sisters on YouTube when even if they don't support Trump, but I'm in there freeing us from prison, right? But I just, we can't afford that anymore. We can't afford to be divided. We can't afford to be disconnected. We can't afford to be canceling each other. We really have to come together and do the work to not only save our country, but save our communities, which we've been doing, right? We do the work regardless if politics is in it or not. We need the help of politicians, but when they don't help us, who do the work? The grassroots organizers, right? The people like me that have the organizations in the community, helping the women and the babies. I lost to Nikema Williams, right? 5th District. She's sitting in office. She's done absolutely nothing for the 5th District of Georgia, but somehow I've managed to do more for that community without even having a seat. So at the end of the day, it's really up to the people.